Brought to you by Gamer Subs and this brand new cup. Stop drinking out of your hands. They got a cup for that now. Bethesda Game Studio presents Fallout 4. Now, Mr. B, except for Oblivion, I haven't played the other 3 Fallout games. So what's going on here? What's the world?
Well, Mr. Z, it all starts here. The year is 2077.
The future?
Yeah, the future.
That can't be correct. Look, there's an old-timey boy on a bike. Old-style Cadillac and a... Uh-oh.
We got robo butlers.
That's not how I remember the past at all.
Essentially, in the Fallout world, everyone focused on nuclear-powered tech instead of silly little computers or whatever.
Smart. You can't feed your family with microchips.
We're all living an American dream, Mr. Z. But there's a threat on the horizon.
Oh, what?
Nuclear war much? Ever heard of it?
I think it a guy that big.
And that's all the backstory you need. Well, let's play this game.
Okay. Alright, we dip in from white to a steamy bathroom. And there's a man right there.
War never changes.
A handsome man within kissing distance, Mr. B. Who's this?
This is Nate. He's a US Army veteran, and he's just come back from the Call of Duty. Black Ops 2. Settled down with his little baby son, Sean.
Oh.
And his beautiful wife, Nora.
Oh. Hey, how come we don't play as Nora?
No, I mean, why do you want to play as Nora? Nate's the Army vet, no.
Yeah.
Nora's a lawyer, I think?
Oh.
Actually, I don't even know if she is a lawyer. She has a Juris Doctor. Does that make you a lawyer?
I don't think so.
You'd be like going to the wasteland with Nora and she's like, hey guys!
It's illegal. Anyway, so we're standing in front of the mirror and Nate is getting ready because he's actually giving a speech tonight at the Veterans Hall.
Because he's a war hero.
War never changes.
You're gonna knock him dead at the Veterans Hall tonight, hun.
Alright, we exit the bathroom and we walk into the kitchen. And there's our robo butler, Cogsworth.
Ah, good morning, sir. Your coffee.
2 pods of Nescafe Blend 43, sir.
Brewed to perfection.
Nate sits down at the kitchen bench, and then Nora comes into the room.
Mr. B, it's October 23rd, 2077, and it's just a lazy Saturday morning. Anything in the news today, Nora?
they added 10 to the Sudoku.
Nate's like, there's nothing sacred in the future anymore. Uh-oh, Mr. B. In the distance, I hear a baby crying.
Don't worry, Mr. Z. Codsworth jumps into action.
Oh, sounds like someone made a sticky.
I apologize.
I'm sure.
So Codsworth goes off to deal with little baby Sean.
Nate turns back to Nora, and he's like,
You just gonna leave the robot with that baby?
You know, I was nervous at first, but Codsworth's really good with Sean.
Suddenly, another interruption. A knock at the door.
Can you get that? It's probably that salesman. He comes for you every day.
Alright, so we get off our chair and we walk up to the front door. And there is a man in a yellow jacket. What the hell does he want?
he says he's from a company called Vault Tech.
No thank you, Mr. B. Close the door.
But the man insists.
Good morning! Vault-Tec calling.
Remind me again?
Vault-Tec is the foremost builder of state-of-the-art underground fallout shelters. Vaults, if you will.
Alright, that's great, but why is he trying to sell him a spot in a shelter? Is something bad about to happen, Mr. B?
Yes! The big kaboom is... it's inevitable, I'm afraid.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about nuclear bombs? Regrettably, yes, says the salesman.
And coming sooner than you may think.
Been there, brother.
I'm here today to tell you that because of your family service to our country...
What with your wife getting a Juris Doctorate and all?
you have been pre-selected for entrance into the local vault.
Now, this game has dialogue options that are simply labeled sarcastic, but what they really mean is do a funny, and we like the funny, so go on, Nate.
No, I can't wait for the world to end.
I just need to verify some information, that's all.
Alright, come on, hurry up. We don't know when the missiles might be launching. Sign your name right here, we'll put you underground. Nate signs his name.
Wonderful. That's everything.
Go away.
Just gonna walk this over to the vault.
Okay, bye.
Now that salesman is gone, Nate spends some time with his family before his big speech tonight. Little baby Sean, beautiful wife Nora. Hell, even Codsworth, he's alright.
Among us.
But while Nate's hanging out with Sean, Nora comes in and says,
Hey, how's my little guy?
I'm pretty good.
Much better now, huh?
Yeah.
Listen, after breakfast, I was thinking we could head to the park for a bit. Weather should hold up.
Nora, before I hit the sarcastic option, I just want you to know, life really is perfect. I wish it could stay this way, Fallout, forever.
Shut the fuck up.
Sir? Mum?
What the? Codsworth suddenly calls out from the other room.
You should come and see this.
Codsworth, what's wrong?
So we run into the living room, and there on the television, a news broadcaster is telling us that something bad is happening.
Yes, followed by flashes, blinding flashes, sounds of explosions, confirmed reports of nuclear detonations in New York and Pennsylvania. My God.
Nukes have been dropped in New York and Pennsylvania.
And many more bombs are on their way. America will be destroyed.
This American dream has just turned into an American nightmare.
Good one, Mr. B. I'm waking up.
Oh, it's all kicking off. Nora's holding little baby Sean, and she says,
Quick, honey, we gotta get to that vault that the vault tech guy was talking about. Come on.
I've got Sean. Let's go.
So they go rushing out the door. This is the suburb of Sanctuary Hills. We're gonna miss it. We run past a cute lesbian couple. They look frightened, but Nate knows exactly what to say to put them at ease.
War. War never changes. In the year 1945, my great-great-grandfather, serving in the army.
Anyway, we've got a reservation at the local vault, so we go running to safety. We reach a guard and he's holding a checklist.
We need to get in. We're on the list.
Infant, adult male, adult female.
Yes, adult male.
We're not
Okay, go ahead.
program.
Thank you.
Right, we're in the final stretch now, Mr. Z. We run up a path to a big circular platform.
This is the elevator to Vault 111.
Send it down now!
All right, that's it. Send it down.
Almost there. We're gonna be okay.
They might just make it.
I love you.
But, oh no.
The nukes go off in the distance.
They've dropped. The bombs have dropped, Mr. Z. It's the end of the world!
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
Mr. B. Fade to black. That was a very harrowing segment, Mr. B.
I mean, can you believe it? The world, America, has fallen.
We are going to be making fun of this game. Yes. But I don't care what the Fallout 3 and New Vegas haters say. This game is great. This game's really, really good. Good game out of 10. And it's got massive flaws. But as we were editing this, all I wanted to do was play it some more. And you know what? It's testament to how far video games have come with the thousands of hours of manpower that were put into this, that we could sit back and nitpick the whole thing. It's the height of decadence. It is like wiping one's arse with velvet.
I think that's really beautiful, Mr. Z. I don't agree with you. I don't think this game's that good, but can we just chuck up on screen my 392 hours in Fallout 4?
Yeah, so there you go. We're both actually pretty big.
Don't, why are you lumping me in with you?
All right. This news broadcast, I can't help but feel a little hammed up. There's like 1 million people watching who all need information.
We do have coming in. That's, my God.
Pull it together.
How many? Where? Well, during a time of emergency, it's like, you got one job. How about take shelter? Like, is he not giving that advice? Instead, he's just being like, indulgent. My God. I just want you to know how personally I feel bad about this.
He mentions Vault 76 on the TV.
Oh, does he?
Since debuting Vault 76 last year.
I'm like, oh my God, dude, that's like world building.
Oh, look, the Vault Tech van.
Oh my God. I didn't even notice.
A second one?
No, that doesn't make sense. It has to be the same one.
There's no road here. How do you get a van in? I found a problem with the game. Mr. B, I found a problem with the game.
I tell you what, this is nothing like Fallout 1. What's Nate supposed to do about his big speech tonight?
You're gonna knock him dead at the Veterans Hall tonight, hun.
He's been practicing and practicing.
Because of the bombs, it's probably been postponed.
Oh no, he had that whole war never changes thing going on. He thought that's great.
Has he got the rest of the speech somewhere?
Yeah, no, the speech is the intro. That's his speech.
Oh, why didn't they make that more obvious?
The thing is, I think they did. I think you just weren't paying attention when you played the game. So that is Nate looking at a photo of Nora.
Right.
And then that is not Nora, that's Nate's great-grandma, and the little kid is meant to be Nate's granddad or something.
God, why go that? That's so stupid.
I think it's so clear. Like, I hate that you're putting me in this position where I'm defending Bethesda's writing, but this makes perfect sense. You just don't listen.
This game sucks.
I hate it. I take back everything I said.
We descend the elevator down to our new life in the vault.
We did it.
Oh my God, Mr. B, we made it.
We made it.
The gate to the elevator opens.
And a man on the other side addresses us.
Everyone please step off the elevator and proceed up the stairs in an orderly fashion. No need to worry, folks.
Mr. Russell walks first.
I can't believe it.
So Nate slowly walks up to the vault facility. We see all sorts of, we push in front of Mr. Russell. We see all sorts of crazy new things.
A terribly haircutted man holding a clipboard. A security guard line dancing in slow motion. A vault guy gives us some instructions.
Step over to the table, take a suit.
And a woman holding some Vault 111 merch.
I'll take like 40, says Nate, very solemnly.
Thanks. What now?
Just follow the doctor here. He'll show you where to go.
All right, you three. Follow me.
The doctor in the lab coat then leads us further into the vault.
Mr. Z, you see that little interesting contraption on his arm?
Yeah.
What do you reckon that is?
I think he's fisted a fleshlight.
Oh, you're gonna love it here. This is one of our most advanced facilities.
As we walk down the hall, we pass some of our old neighbors from Sanctuary Hills.
It's gone. Our home. Everything we had.
Sir?
Just the way they stand off to the side. Our home, everything is gone.
Yes, Mr. Exposition, you have my condolences.
Anyway, eventually we reach a big room, and in there are a bunch of human-sized pods stacked against the walls.
So what the hell are these?
Now the Vault-Tec doctor turns around. He says, "All right, folks, you guys got any questions?"
Oh yeah, I've got a whole bunch. What do these pods do?
Yeah, look, I wouldn't worry about that, man.
Just step in here and put your vault suit on.
Just get naked in front of everybody?
Just relax.
So we put on our Vault suit and we climb inside the pod.
And we are locked in.
The pod will decontaminate and depressurize you before we head deeper in the vault.
Well, this seems great, Mr. B.
Yeah, I'm just glad Mr. Russell's safe.
Time for a whole new life.
And Nora, she waves to us from across the room.
Clingy!
Occupant vitals normal.
But then we notice that the temperature in the pod is starting to go down. Excuse me, there's something wrong with the air conditioning.
And the glass is frosting over.
Hello? The air conditioner problem is becoming more severe.
3.
Nate is being frozen like a damn popsicle.
And we fade to white.
Nobody asked a question. Not one of them.
Just hop in this big metal pod.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also, man, if we're being real, I'm like 100% sure that baby's dead. Like, there is no way that you put a mother and a baby in the same pod. You're like, yep, spin that thing down to 0.
Well, it's in a blanket.
Oh,
so it's staying warm.
It's got a little beanie.
We're gonna put a jacket on this thing. It's gonna get cold.
So we've been frozen for God knows how long. But then, strangely, Nate hears the voice of the Vault computer.
Manual override initiated. Cryogenic stasis suspended.
What? Cryogenic stasis?
Wait a minute.
I was frozen. When are we going underground, guys?
Okay, so what's happening? We've suddenly unfrozen.
Cryosleep has been overridden manually.
It must be time to greet the new world. Hooray!
Hold your horses, Mr. Z. We see 2 figures walk into view. A woman in a full hazmat suit and a bald man in a leather jacket. They seem to be very interested in our wife's pod.
Open it.
Nora's pod opens. She and Sean are awake.
Is it over? Are we okay?
Almost.
The scientist-looking lady reaches forward and tries to grab Sean, yoinking it from Nora.
But Nora isn't having it. She fights back.
No, I got him.
Okay, hold on. If you put me in a cryopod,
Done.
and then you suddenly woke me up, and you were wearing that outfit,
Oh, this whole thing? Yeah.
and you said, I need your baby, I'd go, oh, okay. You look like a scientist. Like, why would I
Yeah.
why would I say no?
So Nora is fighting with the scientist. No, you cannot have my baby.
No, I got him.
Let the boy go.
And then the mysterious bald man holds up his gun.
I'm only gonna tell you once.
I'm not giving you Sean.
He shoots her dead. Nora's pod closes back up, and the scientists abscond with Sean.
But before they leave, Mr. B, the bald man walks right up to our pod and says,
At least we still have the backup.
"You better get a good look at me so you can get revenge, leader."
Why did they
refreeze her?
Reinitialized.
Our teeth start to chatter, and we go back to cryosleep.
End of scene.
Ad time, Mr. B. Let me tell you a story.
Go on.
I was wandering in the forest one day, but it was very foggy. I started to get lost. Where am I? I was so parched. I thought I might die of thirst. But then, in the distance,
Hello, said a man.
behind me, I turned around. There was an old man right there.
Feeling thirsty, perhaps? He said to me.
Then he showed me his magic goblet. First he poured in water, and then a scoop of Gamer Sups.
What is Gamer Sups?
It is a magic flavor powder drink used by wizards all across the globe to help them through their busy day. Available in both caffeine and caffeine-free.
What flavor?
There's so many flavors on the website. Look at all these. And then he shook the cup. He said, peer into my ball, and I shall read your mood.
Because the ball was transparent, we could see the color of the Gamer Sups. Look, boy, it's blue. That means you're literally dying.
He put a cup up to my mouth. Drink, boy, he said.
I gulped down every last drop, and suddenly I started to feel energized, like I'd perked up, but with no sugar.
So then I got out of the forest, right? And then I went back to work, and then I put the cup there on my desk.
Put my own flavor in there. People thought it was a very nice cup. Conversation piece.
And then they see, oh, he's in a yellow kind of mood.
That means about to shit your pants.
That's right, Mr. B.
You can call me a king because I'm always crowning.
Anyway, so that's the cup. I hope you like it.
Oh, but Mr. Z, I've only got 90% of the cost of one of those cups.
I've got good news for you, Mr. B. Gamer Subs right now is doing 10% off. It's the whole store, 10% off the entire store. It's an unbelievable deal.
But only if you use the magical incantation. His story in that checkout. It's a spell.
Ad over. More time passes. Sunrise, sunset, sunrise.
Oh, once again, we have returned from the frozen world.
It sounds like the cryo system's failed, and it's thawing us out.
Cryogenic array.
Nate stumbles out of his pod and falls to the ground.
Ooh.
He looks at Nora, and he runs over, and he's like,
Come on! There has to be a release!
I'm gonna get my wife. Maybe the bullet froze before it went right through her skull.
Come on, come on, come on! Oh, God!
The door to the cryopod opens. Oh my god, my wife. I'm too late. The body's already cold.
I'll find who did this, and I'll get Sean back.
We loot the wedding ring. It's been a hell of a day, Mr. B. The world ended, Nate's wife is dead, and his baby Sean has been stolen. What is there to do? How will he rebuild his life? Alright, step one. I gotta get out of this place. Too many bad memories. So we go running haphazardly through the vault.
How long have we been out?
Well, we don't know. A couple days? A minute? 2? What's going on? Things look a little different.
The whole place is deserted, and it's looking a little bit worse for the wear.
Good one, Mr. B.
There's giant roaches and skeletons.
Ugh. Everyone else in this vault is dead. There's not a single living soul here but us.
Even Mr. Russell's dead. What happened in this vault while we were frozen?
There's no time for that now, Mr. B. We've just arrived at the exit to the vault. But it's closed by a big door.
He walks up to a big security panel, and when he tries to open the front door...
Pip-Boy interface required.
Ah, no, Mr. B, you need a Pip-Boy to open the door.
Oh, and look at that. There's a Pip-Boy on this skeleton's wrist. This is what that scientist from before was wearing.
Instead of flashlight.
This must be him. So Nate picks up the Pip-Boy and puts it on his wrist. I hope it doesn't turn us into a skeleton. He then plugs the Pip-Boy into the door console. We're in.
Then we press the open button on the vault.
Vault door cycling sequence initiated.
The door rolls open.
Please, stand back.
Nate saunters out of Vault 111 and into the wasteland.
Return to the surface, and thank you for choosing Vault Tech.
The elevator doors open. Sunlight beams through. They've still got that in the future?
Nate lowers his hand, and the vision of a wasteland comes into focus.
Oh my god. What happened?
Remember the nuclear explosion?
That was just mere moments ago.
Wrong, Mr. B. This was many moons ago. Not knowing quite what to do, Nate decides to head back home.
So Nate makes the haunting walk back to Sanctuary Hills. Things are looking a little bit different.
This is a lot of environmental storytelling right now. We look at an old destroyed billboard. Reminds me of the long, long ago. We walk a little further and, oh, there's a skeleton on the ground.
Something must have happened here. You know, war.
Yeah, what? What about it?
I mean, it may never change.
What? Yeah?
But it certainly does. No, war does change.
Yeah.
War has changed.
Yeah, I follow you. Yeah.
War's changed Boston.
But how much?
Into a wasteland.
Can
we get this in black and white? We go, so war.
Right.
But what it does change the Boston into the Commonwealth.
You have given me a lot to think about.
Anyway, Nate returns to Sanctuary Hills and walks through the devastated houses until...
Look, Mr. B, there's our house. Oh, and in front of it, there's Codsworth, and he's still alive.
Codsworth?
It's really you?
Nate asks a very important question.
What?
I'm afraid I don't know anything, sir. The bombs came and all of you left in such a hurry. 2 centuries with no one to talk to, no one to serve.
200 years?
How many years?
That's insane.
A bit over 210, actually, sir.
Nate's like, that ain't right. And he quickly looks down at his Pip-Boy to check the date. Uh-oh. The year is 2287.
He was frozen for 200 years!
Codsworth hits us with the sarcastic option.
That means you're 2 centuries late for dinner.
What?
Actually, while we're on the topic, why does it look like shit? Why haven't you been cleaning? He has like one function. It's to clean. I saw him trimming the hedges before.
Don't get me started about the futility of dusting a collapsed house. 10 years trying to keep the floors waxed.
Speaking of waxing.
Where is your better half, by the by?
She's dead, Codsworth. Someone shot her right in the head with a .45 cal, and her head exploded like a glass jar filled with goo hitting a concrete step.
Oh.
Then they kidnapped Sean!
Oh.
Codsworth salts the wound.
Sir, I have been thinking. It's been ages since we've had a proper family activity. Checkers, or perhaps charades.
God damn it.
Nate has had enough.
I'm dying.
Tragic, says Nate. He must have died when the bombs went off. All right, time to find my son. Now, with no real clue of where to go or what to do, Nate heads off into the wasteland. He goes running for many miles along the road. It's just like that Cormac McCarthy novel. Blood Meridian.
Until he comes across an old petrol station? Whoa! And there he meets a new hairy, 4-legged friend
Oh, I've only got 2 legs, Mr. B.
No, Mr. Z, this is a dog called Dog Meat, and he's going to be our new friend.
Nate asks if he's seen Sean at all.
Give me Sean! Now!
Alas, this shepherd hound only speaks German.
Ihr Sohn ist 60 Jahre alt und leitet das Institut.
Okay then, let's stick together.
Dogmeat leads us even further down the road.
Has Sean been through here?
Nate keeps an eye out for tiny baby footprints.
Now eventually, after many more miles, Nate stumbles upon a town called Concord. It looks as though this would have been a very nice place to live once. Some shopping downtown, except it's full of raiders now.
That's right, Mr. Z, raiders in Concord.
And they're all heading to the big building at the center of town, the Museum of Freedom. So we fight our way there.
How will this get his son back?
We don't know.
Have you seen my son?
No.
Have you seen my son?
The baby Sean? Ah, damn it. Should have asked him some questions.
What was he going to say when I said, hey?
Yeah.
As we get closer to the building, suddenly we hear a man on a balcony calling out for help.
Hey, up here, on the balcony. I've got a group of settlers inside. The raiders are almost through the door. Help us, please!
So Nate reloads and heads inside the Museum of Freedom. He's blasting people with his laser musket. He's pistol whipping strings. Eventually, on the top floor, there he finds some non-hostile NPCs. A man in a cool white duster jacket and a cowboy hat walks up. The man who was yelling from the balcony.
This is Preston Garvey.
Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minutemen.
Minutemen?
What the heck is the Minutemen? Asks Nate.
We're like the Boy Scouts of the Wasteland. Anyone needs help, we're there for them.
Protect the people at a minute's notice.
Really? That's amazing news, says Nate. I've got a problem. See, someone stole my son.
My son Sean's been kidnapped. He's not even a year old.
Very empathetically, Gabi says.
That's messed up.
Anyway, on to my problems.
A month ago, there were 20 of us. Yesterday, there were 8. Now we're 5.
That means we lost a total of 15 people. That's way worse than just your son. Maybe you should be consoling me.
Sorry. Sounds rough.
Thanks.
Nate solemnly says.
The world's changed so much. None of this makes sense.
Yeah, awesome, says Garvey.
Listen, we need your help. And then maybe we can help you, huh?
Nate scans the room. Now, Garvey is talking about these people.
Who are these people?
Just folks looking for a new home.
Let's meet them now, says Preston Garvey.
The Longs, Marcy and June.
What are you going to do in that stupid jumpsuit? Bleed to death?
That's old Mama Murphy on the couch.
This old lady, she's out of her mind.
And this here is Sturgis.
Hey.
Preston then looks out the window. Okay, that's enough chit-chat. There's more raiders coming, and it looks like there's far more of them than there are of us.
We need your help.
Nate says, but we're so outnumbered. What are we supposed to do? Don't worry, we've got an ace up our sleeve.
Sturgis, tell him.
The camera pans over.
There's a crashed vertibird up on the roof.
And?
Looks like one of its passengers left behind a seriously sweet goodie. We're talking a full suit of cherry T-45 power armor.
Now, Nate already knows what that is, because he was in the army.
That's some serious protection.
Oh, it gets better.
There's also a minigun, says Sturgis.
Minigun.
So off Nate goes to the roof to grab that power armor. He leaps right off the building and starts opening fire.
But for a minigun, this thing's actually pretty big. But, here's trouble. A sewer grate busts open, and out comes a death claw. And it's got a skull next to its name.
That's the most fierce monster in the whole game.
And we're fighting it right at the start? This is a little bit different to the Fallout I know.
Guys, you have no idea how many times we had to do this bit. We basically had to quick save scum. It was so difficult, I nearly Steam refunded the game. Alright, we head back inside the building to talk to the Minutemen. We march right up to Preston Garvey, and he says,
That was a pretty amazing display.
No problem.
And now that I've helped you, Preston, can you help me find my son?
Preston puts down his gun and says,
Listen, One thing you should know about us, we help out our friends.
Amazing. Okay, cool. So the last place I saw Sean was...
So here.
Oh.
And Preston hands us 100 bottle caps.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Okay.
What happens now?
Well, we can't set up a base in Concord. There's too many raiders here, and more are on their way. So instead, we're gonna go to a new place. Mama Murphy's been talking about it.
Some old neighborhood, but one we can make new again.
It's called Sanctuary. Let's head there now.
I think we could settle down here. Make it a place to call home. What do you think?
Yeah. I used to like living here.
In the long, long ago.
He looks down, looks back. Before the war.
I lived here over 200 years ago. I was frozen or something for most of it.
Damn. Anyway, I hope you don't mind, but I've got another favor to ask.
Yeah, I fucking mind.
I got my own problems.
Well, that much is true.
Suddenly, Mama Murphy pipes up. Ugh. We reluctantly turn around to humor what she is about to say.
Your son's energy. He's alive.
What? Nate does an impression of Frasier.
I'm listening.
I'm a psychic. I can see the future.
Bullshit. You're trying to play me for a fool.
Look, kid, I know how I sound.
But you gotta trust me, I take a lot of drugs and then I have visions.
Okay.
It's the chems. They give old Mama Murphy the sight.
Okay.
And I know where you should start looking for your son, Nate.
Diamond City.
She's right, Nate, chimes in Preston. Diamond City's the biggest settlement around here. Surely someone there can help you.
That's vague.
Oh, don't be like that, Nate. Head to Diamond City. I'll even mark the location on your map. And you know, while I'm marking locations on your map,
I've had word from a settlement asking for help. Do you think you could go help out?
We're
with the
not
settlement?
doing that. Alright, so off we go running to find our son and ignore the middlemen.
That's right, Mr. Z. We're off to Diamond City.
Well, Mr. B, I think things have just gone from bad to worse.
Out of the cryopod and into the freezer.
What is a man such as Nate to do?
If this was me, I would take this time to reflect. I'd start working on myself. I'd start reading more. I'd start working on my semen retention. I would start focusing on stacking cash, all right?
Right, yeah. Now, here's what I don't understand. When they unfroze Nora's pod with Sean, they unthawed me too, and I don't understand, because there's clearly like a console on each of the pods. Why didn't they just unfreeze Nora's?
What would be way spookier is you wake up and your wife's dead.
Yeah, I can't help but feel that as well. Like, oh wow, time to reunite with my family. What the hell? You know, you go over to some of the cryopods and you'd be like, surely Mr. Russell's okay. And you press the button and...
Come on! There has to be a release!
It's like you find out that he's dead too.
Hey, if anyone watching this is one of the, like, Bethesda lore channels, could you please do a lore video on Mr. Russell and then let us know? We'd love to see that.
I love that guy. I don't understand Cosworth. Like, he's still operating. He's still functioning. He hasn't lifted a fucking finger. He could be doing the hedges.
He does do the hedges. He's doing the hedges when you come up to
These
him.
hedges ain't done. He could take down a tree if he wanted.
Why would he do that then? Also, the laser musket really annoys me.
Yeah, go on.
You take a laser rifle, which is this, like, culmination of amazing pre-war technology, right? But what the Minutemen do, Mr. Z, is they take this laser rifle, they strip all the important parts off it, and then sticky tape those parts to a wooden stock, thereby creating a worse laser rifle, and then say, yep, that's our new gun. It's insane, is what it is. It'd be like taking an AK-47 and chucking it on a broom and being like, oh yes, it's a Kalashna broom. It's the main weapon of us, the Scrubby Dub boys.
Yeah, you're perfectly right.
Yeah, it's like, what is the advantage? Is it better?
You can keep more bullets, right? No, less.
Much less, like a lot less.
Is Mama Murphy blind?
No, she has the sight, dude.
Mr. B, is Mama Murphy actually psychic, or is she just kind of like wacky?
Within Fallout, psychers, what they're called, exist.
What, like in Warhammer?
Yeah.
Okay, well then.
It's a thing. Can you stop fighting me on this? Trust me, okay?
I like Preston Garvey a lot more than I like Sturgis.
You don't like Sturgis?
A full set of cherries, power up.
I hate that. Well, off we go into the wasteland. We're going to go to Diamond City, and we're going to find our son, goddammit. We got to make that speech. Nate runs all the way from Sanctuary to Diamond City. There it is, the big sticky.
Isn't this Fenway Park, the baseball stadium?
From Boston?
Yeah, they've taken the old stadium and turned it into a settlement. As Nate approaches the front gate, he sees a lady in a red leather coat. Oh, and who's this beautiful creature?
That's Piper. And she seems to be locked out of the city.
Damn it, Danny, open up! Stop playing around, Danny. I'm standing out in the open here, for crying out loud.
Piper's in the middle of an argument with a guy on an intercom system.
Oh.
Now the guy on the intercom's saying,
I'm sorry, Piper, but someone put up a no chicks allowed sign in the city, and I'm just following orders.
Got orders not to let you in, Miss Piper. I'm sorry.
Mr. B, I don't understand. What's going on?
So Piper here is a reporter for a local newspaper, Mr. Z. And it sounds like her most recent article was very critical of Diamond City's mayor. So now she's been locked out of town.
Mayor McDonough's really steamed, Piper. Saying that article you wrote was all lies.
Oh, look, it's the scary reporter. Oh, protecting Diamond City means keeping me out, is that it?
I'm sorry.
Ugh. I live here. You can't just lock me out.
Piper turns around and sees Nate standing there. She says,
You want into Diamond City, right?
I do, says Nate, shaking his head up and down feverishly.
Yeah.
And so Piper comes up with a clever ruse.
Shh. Play along. What's that? You said you're a traitor up from Quincy?
Play along with what? What are you talking? I'm not from Quincy.
Have you seen my son?
You have enough supplies to keep the general store stocked for a whole month?
And you've got Gamer Sups in both caffeine and caffeine-free? So she turns back to the intercom and says, Everyone's going to starve and die from lack of supplies. I guess that's the security guard's fault.
Jeez, all right.
All right, hold on, I'll let you in. Just shut up.
Give me a minute.
Better head inside quick before old Danny catches on to the bluff.
The big green gate to the city opens up. It worked. We're in.
The idea that they don't have monitors to see out the door? Like, what's the point of this big f***-off door if a raider can come along and go, Ow, I'm an injured little kid. Open the door.
Let's go.
Nate follows Piper into the stadium. And, oh, who's that there? It's the mayor. And he's still powerful mad about that article that Piper wrote.
You devious, rabble-rousing slanderer. The level of dishonesty in that paper of yours. I'll have that printer scrapped for parts.
Ooh, that a statement, Mr. McDonough? Tyrant mayor shuts down the press.
Nate tries to cut through the crap.
What are you two arguing about anyway?
The mayor says,
Piper here accused me in her paper of working for the Institute, which I'm not. You are so, nuh-uh.
I don't know what the Institute is.
Oh, I didn't mean to bring you into this argument, good sir.
The mayor welcomes you to Diamond City.
I'm the mayor. Welcome to the great green jewel of the Commonwealth. Safe, happy, a fine place to come. I'm the mayor.
Anyway, the mayor turns back to Piper and says,
From now on, consider you and that little sister of yours on notice.
Yeah, keep talking, McDonough. That's all you're good for.
So the mayor's walked away and we're left alone with Piper.
A big Diamond City welcome from the mayor. Look, I gotta go get settled in, but, stop by my office later. I have an idea for an article you'd be perfect for.
Do you think that I give a shit about some local newspaper? Where's my son? So we leave that conversation and walk on through to Diamond City proper. Biggest settlement in Boston. Wow. We see camper vans on massive bollards, rundown shacks made of corrugated iron. Ah, this is Public Occurrences, the newspaper that Piper owns. And this street urchin on a literal soapbox is Piper's sister, Nat.
Piper, you're back. Hey, kiddo. How are the paper sales?
Well, the presses are getting overloaded. That motor is going to go soon if we don't replace it.
Whatever, kid, says Piper.
I gotta head into the office.
Piper walks away. Nat then turns to us and says,
Free paper to newcomers.
a free paper? Nate takes some time to be sarcastic at this kid.
A free paper? Sounds like quality.
No, go on, Nate. You might like this paper. It's all about the Institute.
The Institute?
You ain't heard of the Institute, mister?
No, sounds dumb.
The Institute takes people. They snatch people up in the night and no one hears from them again.
Okay, kid, that's a cute story.
I'm serious.
Get out of my way, kid. I got busy things to do.
So we head into Public Occurrences, Piper's journalist agency. She greets us at the door.
Glad you dropped by.
Let me just cut to the chase, says Piper.
So here's the deal. I want an interview. Your life story in print.
Nate says, yeah, maybe. What will you do for me? Do this big exclusive interview and...
I'll tell you what. I'll come with you.
I'll become an optional follower and companion. Nate agrees.
All right, Piper. I'm in.
Good.
And we pick the sarcastic option for every question of the interview.
Let's get down to business. So, I know you're from a vault. How would you describe your time on the inside?
Why would they put a sarcastic option if they didn't want us to pick it, right?
It was just me and 1,000 guinea pigs. They turned carnivorous.
They had these little machines that gave us Reddit gold whenever we made a funny.
Okay. I guess we're gonna have to go with the satirical approach. So, you've seen the Commonwealth, Diamond City. How does it compare to your old life?
You're all living in rusty shacks, killing each other. And my God, the smell.
Okay. Now, the big question. Why come to Diamond City? You're looking for someone, aren't you? Who is it?
I am looking for someone.
Who are they?
My son! Oh, a missing person? What do they look like? Well, he's about yay high, and then he squats like all the way down the ground. Bald.
Wearing a beanie, I guess?
Very young. Blue eyes, just like useless stuff.
But like never specifies that he's a baby?
Has trouble walking, but he's not in a wheelchair. Piper then drops one bombshell of a question.
Do you suspect the Institute's involved?
The Institute? Who were they?
Piper takes a deep breath.
That blue is the biggest mystery in the Commonwealth.
No one knows nothing about the Institute. They're pretty much the Robo-Illuminati.
No one really knows who or where they are, but their handiwork is all over.
Okay.
It sounds crazy, I know, Nate, but they really do exist.
Okay.
No, wait, I can prove it, Nate. They're basically cloning people and replacing people with...
Okay.
Synths. Synthetic people.
They make synthetic people?
That's right.
And they act as, like, the spies of the Institute and stuff.
Sometimes they even replace a person with a synth double.
So Piper takes a big pause and expectantly looks at us and says...
So, do you think they could be involved? The Institute or one of their agents?
How the fuck would I know? I've been frozen for 200 years, and you just told me what it is.
Well, in any case...
For the last part of our interview, I'd like to do something different. What would you say to someone out there who's lost a loved one but might be too scared or too numb to the world to look for them? I think my readers can relate to that. That's everything. It's gonna take some time to put this all together.
She didn't take a single fucking note? She's not recording anything? My God, she's even got the little ticket that says press.
Nate just presses it, doesn't do anything. Whenever I do it, it just makes him mad.
Anyway, I agreed to come with you, right?
And just like that, we have got our second companion now, Piper. Alright, well, what do I do next, says Nate. Let's go to Nick Valentine. He's a private detective, and he's very good at finding people. Also, he's got an office here in Diamond City. Let's go!
Just say the word when you're ready. I can't wait to see where the story goes next.
Piper then goes over to her couch and sits down.
Well, Piper, I hate to say this after you just sat down, but...
Hey, Piper.
Heading my way?
Sure, let's go.
Will do.
What the fuck is going on?
So we head through the back streets of Diamond City. We can see a neon sign that reads Valentine Detective Agency. This is the place. We head into this detective agency, and frankly, it's a mess. Oh, of course, they've got the cinder blocks, standard issue.
His ties. Oh, Nick.
Why are they bothering to put things in cabinets and then leaving papers on the floor and then walking on the papers?
You're being pedantic.
Oh, I'm not. They're being ridiculous.
You're being pedantic. Also, look how low that ceiling fan is. Just cut your head off. Across the room is a young lady, rummaging through a filing cabinet. So Nate approaches and asks,
Something wrong?
Dude, it's tone.
Something wrong?
What's going on there, sweetheart? I don't want to see you cry.
Another stray coming in from the rain.
The lady spins around, and she says,
Afraid you're too late. Office is closed.
Look, stranger, the office is closed right now. And Nate replies,
Wait, who are you? You the detective?
Me? No, I'm Nick's secretary. Handle his appointments, his papers, that sort of thing.
Well, that's great. I need to see Valentine pronto. Yesterday. I need him to detect where my son is. He's been taken, and my wife's dead.
No can do, stranger. You see, Mr. Valentine's gone missing.
He disappeared working a case. Skinny Malone's gang had kidnapped a young woman, and he tracked them down to their hideout in Park Street Station.
Oh no, says Piper.
Nicky's missing. What has he gotten himself into this time?
Do you think maybe the Institute's involved?
Shut up, Piper, this is important.
Who's this Skinny Malone character?
Ellie replies,
I don't know much about him, but...
All I know is he's a dangerous gangster, and he's apparently kidnapped a young woman. Her parents are worried sick. Mr. Valentine went looking for him, and ever since then, I ain't seen him. I think he's in a terrible way.
Nate says, Well, I need Valentine's help, lady.
Do you have any idea how I could find him?
Well, word's going round that he...
tracked them down to their hideout in Park Street Station.
Scooch over here and I'll mark it on your map.
There's an old vault down there they use as a base. I told Nick he was walking into a trap, but he just smiled and walked out the door like he always does.
Right, so you're saying that if I find Valentine, he'll help me find my son. Deal.
I'll find him. You have my word.
Thank you. Nick should be easy to spot. He's always wearing that old hat and trench coat getup. Please, hurry.
So we head off to find Detective Valentine. And as we leave through Diamond City, what the hell's happening over there, Mr. B?
It seems like there's some commotion in the town square. What's going on? Everyone is gathered around two men in the center of Diamond City.
This guy with his hands up is Riley, and this guy holding the gun is Kyle.
Kyle says,
What have you done with the real Riley? Where's my brother?
You're a synth, my own brother, a synth. Why, I ought to give you a bullet sandwich.
I swear I'm not a synth. Don't shoot, for God's sakes, we're family!
Wait, what's happening? Synths? Like from the Institute? Like from Piper's newspaper?
It seems, Mr. Z, this guy thinks his brother has been switched with a fake synth double. A Diamond City guard yells out,
Put the gun down, now!
He's a synth! He'll kill us all!
And right before this Kyle customer pulls the trigger, the guard shoots him dead.
No!
His head explodes like a pomegranate with high blood pressure.
Okay, show's over. There are no synths in Diamond City. Hear me?
Nate rushes over to Riley.
What happened?
He pulled a gun on me. My own brother.
My brother thought I was replaced by a synth. Well, are you a synth?
I'm not a synth. I told him. I kept telling him.
Of course he's not a synth, Mr. B. He looks just like a human. Surely the guard has something to say for himself.
Officer?
I need you to step away, Scaver.
I understand, officer. I just want to know what happened.
It's that newspaper's fault. Got people all riled up, thinking their own family might be replaced by machines.
Oh, so this is all Piper's fault. She's causing all this synth paranoia, Mr. Z, with her silly newspaper.
Ginning up the whole city with conspiracy theories, Mr. B.
We just cut to Piper, she's just eating noodles. She doesn't give a shit. Well, anyway, says Nate, let's go find this Detective Valentine customer. If I never see a synth ever again, it'll be too soon. And so, Nate and Piper leave Diamond City.
Okay, so we gotta go save Nick Valentine. He is hauled up in a vault, and the entrance to that vault is a subway station. We are now outside that subway station. Let's jump in. So we get into the subway, and at this point we overhear some very incriminating dialogue.
I'm telling you, joining Skinny Malone's crew was the best decision we've ever made.
I tell you what, I love being a bad guy, and I love being part of the Skinny Malone crew, which I am, and my name is the Skinny Malone Guy / Steve.
The exposition boys go on to say,
I still say Malone's weak. They caught that detective snooping around, and what does he do? Locks him up.
These guys speaking, by the way, are the Triggermen. They are part of Skinny Malone's crew, and they are old-timey gangster laughers.
So Nate walks into the reception of the subway, and the Triggermen instantly intuit that
He's here for the detective. Ice him.
Ruh-roh. Nate engages in combat.
Say hello to Goodbye. Malone's gonna have your guts for garners.
Nate makes his way down into the subway.
Let's see those moves, tough guy. You'll pay for that, wise guy.
He shot at me with his bullets.
Out ahead. Get behind something, you goon.
Well, fee-fi-fo-fuck.
That went better than expected.
We kill all of Skinny Malone's men in the subway, and we arrive at Vault 114. This is where Mr. Valentine should be being held hostage.
So we use our Pip-Boy to open the door.
didn't think we'd be coming back to a vault so soon, huh? Piper's just like not listening. Oh, thanks, Piper.
The big vault door opens. If Mr. Russell was here, he would go first. But it's just me and Piper, so we run in and we start blasting.
Don't worry, Valentine. We're coming, bro.
Alright, so there's more gangsters in this vault. We kill them.
We keep pushing through until we reach a central atrium within the vault. And we can overhear a very subtle conversation happening in the distance.
How you doing in there, Valentine? Feeling hungry?
Ah, Nick Valentine, you are in there and looking out of the window and hearing me with my voice. You're good, I'll give you that.
Want a snack?
Keep talking, meathead.
Alright, Valentine's locked in that room. We gotta get in there.
It'll give Skinny Malone more time to think about how he's gonna bump you off.
Don't give me that crap, Valentine. You know nothing, you got nothing.
Really? I saw him writing your name down in that black book of his.
Valentine seems to be playing mind games with this guy. He must be one cool customer.
Lousy, cheating card shark, I think were his exact words. Then he struck the name across 3 times.
3 strikes? In the black book? But I never... Oh, no. I gotta smooth this over, fast.
Now, if we sneak real quiet-like, we might be able to close the distance across the room while the gangster is distracted. Are you drinking right now?
No.
Alright, we snuck across the room.
So the bad guy comes running out the door as we're climbing the stairs and he says,
Who's there?
No, leave me alone.
Alright, so we walk up to this big round glass window and we can see the silhouette of a man inside.
Nate's like,
Hello? Hello, are you Nick Valentine? Is that you? I need your help, please. I have a son-related problem.
But Valentine cuts him off.
I don't know who you are, but we got 3 minutes before they realize muscles for brains ain't coming back.
uh-oh, we gotta hurry.
Get this door open.
Nate's like,
Hey, how do I get this door open?
You gotta hack that terminal to open up this door.
Nate heads over and hacks the terminal that opens the door.
Yes.
The door opens. Ah, finally, we see the elusive Detective Valentine.
Haha, my knight in shining armor.
But Nate's like,
Whoa.
Because have you noticed something a little bit interesting about old Valentine?
No, what, has he got a new haircut?
Not quite. He looks a little bit, well, synthetic.
Whoa, what are you?
I'm a detective.
You know what I meant.
All right, kid, you twisted my arm. I'm a synth. A delicious synth.
Wait, I thought synths were meant to look like people.
Actually, says Piper, there are lots of different types of synths.
So Piper barges in and she goes, okay, so there are 3 different types of synths, right? So there's the first generation, which looks like this. They're kind of They look like robo-skeletons. Then there's the next version, and they look a little more human, but they're not quite human. And then there's Generation 3. Now that's the one that look indistinguishable from people. Then what is Valentine?
The discarded prototype.
I'm a prototype 2.5 version. Wow, okay, cool.
Look, I know the skin and the metal parts ain't comforting, but it's not important right now.
What matters is, why are you here to save me? What do you want, Nate?
My son, Sean, is missing.
Glad to help. But now ain't the time. Let's blow this joint. Then we'll talk.
So Nate and the fellas creep, all stealthy-like, back to the entrance of the vault.
Stealthy indeed.
What was that?
Not making a peep. Every attack more stealthy than the last. A ghost in the fog.
Finally, they reach the last room before the entrance.
But on the other side of this door, who's waiting for them? None other than Skinny Malone himself.
What are you doing? You come into my house, shoot up my guys? You have any idea how much this is gonna set me back?
Valentine, we may go way back, but killing my friends and dismantling my mafia operation, well, that's 3 strikes in the black book.
Oh, come on, Skinny. Not the black book.
I wouldn't be here if it weren't for your two-timing dame, Skinny.
By two-timing dame, Valentine means this lady, Darla.
The camera cuts to a lady in a fancy sequin dress, and she's holding a baseball bat.
You ought to tell her to write home more often.
The reason why Valentine is here is because he was trying to rescue Darla and bring her back to her parents. Then he got caught and kidnapped. I can't leave here, Darla, without taking you back home to your family. However, Darla does not want to go home.
Oh, I'll just run back home to Daddy, shall I?
Just because you came and told me to? You're not my dad. I don't have to listen to you. They can't control my life anymore.
So Valentine, Skinny Malone, and this Darla girl are all just at each other's throats. And Nate's just standing there in the back like,
oh my god, just help me find my son. Shut up, Darla, says Nate, walking into the shot.
Then what's this guy doing here, huh?
I'm here to persuade you to go home. I ain't leaving Skinny Malone. I love him.
So Nate selects a medium-level difficulty speech check and says,
Darla, listen to me.
Have you considered?
You have a home to go back to. You don't want to throw your life away with these thugs.
You're right!
You're right! You're right! It's stupid game.
Though, in Darla's defense, I did console command myself to have 10 charisma, so she is up against a brick wall of personality.
What am I doing? I've gotten all mixed up.
So with one line of dialogue from a stranger, the missing girl Darla has been convinced to go home.
Darla, where are you going?
Home, Skinny, where I should have been all this time. This is goodbye for us.
And then it just, like, I'm leaving this minute. See you later. Skinny is heartbroken and furious.
Oh, come on, Nicky. You cost me my men, now you and your friend cost me my girl?
Now, Valentine quips back.
You always did have bad taste in women.
Get out of here!
Nate barges in with another charismatic move as he weapon selects the mini nuke.
You still... Well, so much for Skinny Malone.
Nate, Valentine, and Piper book it out of this vault.
We better get out of here, fast.
We've done it. We've made it out of the subway. And Nick Valentine's mighty thankful that we helped him. He says,
Thanks for getting me out. How did you know where to find me, anyway?
Your secretary, Ellie. She sent me.
She did? I should give her a raise.
Good one, Valentine.
Now, you mentioned something about your son, Sean, and how he went missing. Give me all the details.
That's affirmative, Detective Valentine. But let's talk about it more back at Diamond City.
See you in Diamond City.
Goodbye. And the scene ends. What do you think of Piper?
She's what I would refer to as bait. Everything about her seems to be like sculpted to make you fall in love with her.
Stop by my office later. I have an idea for an article you'd be perfect for.
I found her to be annoying right off the bat. Look, the world is a wasteland. We gotta do what we can to rebuild. And then the thing that you're worried about is whether I can talk shit about the mayor in my local newspaper. It seems so trivial.
Yeah.
It just feels like, all right, now let me just start some fucking gossip. There's like people literally dying of thirst around you, and you're like, I don't like the mayor so much.
Tyrant mayor shuts down the press.
What's the point of having press there? Because it's not like a raider's going to go, hold on, fellas, she's just here to report and observe. Also, it's not true. She's there to fight.
Yeah.
She's got a gun.
When she kills people, she yells out, "One more for the obituary!" So what do you think about Valentine?
I do like how we only saw his silhouette, so it was kind of a surprise. I didn't expect to see a robot man when I opened the door.
I like Valentine. I think his shtick sort of runs out.
Yeah.
Because I think they just didn't have enough to do with it.
Let's blow this joint.
But, conceptually, I think he's great.
Yeah, I agree.
Much better than Piper.
I do want to see what's underneath the hat.
Darla? You know, you can actually run into her out in the wasteland after this.
Really?
What a mess I got myself into.
Yeah, and you run into her and she just goes, Skinny sucks.
Screw Skinny Malone. Who needs that big galoot anyway?
That's it.
Boy, are we persuasive.
Yeah. All right, we got a final one. The video's not even out yet, but we've already got questions coming in from the audience, Mr. Z. The people want to know, why do you drink so fucking loudly?
I was thirsty.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have to imagine you're not going to finish this recording while still parched, so I have to imagine you did something to quench that thirst, Mr. Z. What was it?
You might have overheard maybe me drinking a game of subs.
Oh, is that what it was? Because it sounded like you were really enjoying it.
I tell you what, though, it was the fact that I was drinking it out of one of these cups. It's one of the... yeah. And people are like, what's your mood? And I'm like, I don't even have to say it. We now have Nick Valentine on the case, on the team. We gotta find our son.
The Valentine Detective Agency. It's good to be back.
Ellie? Are you here?
Nick?
Ellie comes running up to Valentine and she says,
Oh God, it's really you.
Before Ellie can go in for a big robo hug, Valentine quips back in his aloof way.
Well, it's hard to mistake this mug for anyone else.
You keep laughing at death. Someday, death's gonna laugh back.
Valentine then turns to Nate.
Not as long as I got a few friends to back me up.
Isn't that right, Nate? And then he turns and he winks at him, and Nate's like, I don't get, you're a robot. I just need to find my son.
Nate's like, oh, I'm very synth racist. Now, Ellie is very thankful that we saved Valentine. She says,
You saved Nick, this agency, and my job. Thank you.
But that's not all.
You deserve a reward.
Oh, new wife perhaps? She seems nice.
Plus a little something extra.
You're welcome. We pick the sarcastic option.
Metal detective delivery at your service.
Ellie is no longer aroused. Valentine says, come on, you two.
Let's get down to business. Take a seat.
So Nate sits down in the chair opposite Valentine. And then stands back up again because there's a delay in the inputs cache.
When you're trying to find someone who's gone missing, the devil is in the details. Tell me everything you can.
Did you get a look at the guys who took short? And Nate says, well, the window was really foggy and iced up, you see. But I saw two people.
There was a man and a woman.
So we're talking a small team.
Yes, says Nate. That is, in fact, technically the smallest number of people you could have in a team.
Anything else you remember?
They didn't say much, but I remember they called me the backup.
At least we still have the backup.
Not sure what the backup means.
But, says Valentine,
this isn't a random kidnapping. Whoever took your kid had an agenda.
Yeah, but whose agenda? Who do you think did this?
There's a lot of groups in the Commonwealth that take people. Raiders, super mutants, the Gunners, and of course there's the Institute.
Did you say the Institute? Piper, get out of here. I'm choosing. Nate selects the Gunners.
Who were the Gunners?
High-end mercenaries. No job too brutal.
It's very unlikely that the gunners would kidnap your son, unless they were trying to turn him into a gun or something. Also, they're kind of like raiders. They don't really do anything interesting. Ah, well, I know who it is then.
You think raiders might have done this?
I honestly doubt it.
Then why did you suggest it?
It's not the raiders, Nate.
They can barely organize themselves, let alone pull off something this complicated.
All right, says Nate. Seriously, then. Super mutants.
I think we can safely rule them out.
I think it's the gunners again. It's the Institute, Nate.
So you think this Institute is responsible?
I'm afraid I do, Nate.
Something goes wrong, everyone blames them.
It couldn't be the Institute. It couldn't be. The Institute is a conspiracy. It's not, Nate. It's real. Nick reveals, for you see. Valentine looks away, ashamed.
And I'm a synth myself, a discarded prototype anyway.
Nate is shocked upon hearing the revelation.
You're a prototype?
As far as I know. Never seen any other synth like myself.
Well, then surely you know what their plan is, where they are?
No one knows what their plan is, or where they are.
You don't know anything about them? Really?
Although I am a robot from the Institute, they wiped my brain memories. I remember nothing.
Really?
Some kind of security setting strips or blocks out those memories.
Look, I don't care about any of this, says Nate. Let's get back on track.
I need to find Sean.
Let's focus on what you saw. What did these kidnappers look like?
Well, I suppose there was one thing, says Nate. Probably doesn't mean anything, but...
One of them came right up to me.
Pressed his face up against the glass so I could get a real good look at him. And I could see that he had...
Bald head. Scar across his left eye.
What, says Valentine, while looking at the camera aghast.
It couldn't be. It's way too big of a coincidence.
Spit it out, says Nate.
You didn't hear the name Kellogg at all, did you?
Press the sarcastic button, Mr. B.
Oh, yeah. I heard their names, their home addresses, and where their diary keys are hidden.
Valentine then turns to our new romantic interest. And he says,
Ellie, what notes do we have about the Kellogg case?
She goes, I don't know, just turns around the clipboard, there's nothing on it.
The description matches. Bald head, scar, reputation for dangerous mercenary work, but...
Everything matches up. All of the description.
And he had a kid with him, didn't he? And he bought a house here in town, right?
You said he lives here?
That son of a... Let me at him. What's his address? I'll go kick his ass.
Yeah, that's right. The house in the abandoned West Stands. The boy with him was around 10 years old.
10 years old? If Sean's 10 years old now, then how long was I frozen?
It could just be another kid, Nate. Either way, it sounds like we're on the right track.
Let's you and I take a walk over to Kellogg's last known address.
The camera couldn't keep up.
Ellie warns us.
Security doesn't really go to that part of town, but...
So it's dangerous, guys.
You two should still be careful.
I always am.
So off we all go. To Kellogg's house. The home of a known serial killer. So we're on our way to Kellogg's house, and Valentine reiterates just how dangerous this Kellogg guy is.
Everything I dug up about Kellogg before his disappearance is bad news. Quick, clean, thorough. Has no enemies because they're all dead.
Nate and Nick skulk over to this Kellogg customer's house to see if they can rustle up any clues.
It's an ordinary house in the wastelands. Nothing remarkable.
Keep an eye out, will you? Let's see if I can get this open.
Valentine begins picking the lock to the door. We get inside and... Oh.
Take a look around. Kellogg must have left something behind.
Nothing out of the ordinary, though.
It's kind of empty. Damn. Nate says, it's a dead end. Guess we'll never find Sean now. Nate begins loading his gun. Valentine suddenly says, wait a minute. Does the geometry of this room not quite make sense?
Place seems small to you?
It's quite large on the outside, but so much smaller on the inside. It's like a reverse TARDIS. Maybe there's a hidden room or something, says Valentine. So Nate and Valentine begin scanning the room, looking for some sort of hidden button or lever or... bing bing bong, there it is. Under the desk, a big red inconspicuous button.
Nate presses it, and then a secret room opens up.
That's one way to hide a room.
Inside the secret room, there are clues everywhere.
Now look at this. All of a merc's favorite things.
He's got ammunition. He's got missiles. He's got...
Wait a minute.
Is that a bottle of Gamer Subs?
The flavors. Look at all the flavors he has, Mr. B. He's got the limited edition Berry Blast. They don't sell that one no more. Oh my God. And he's got the cup too. My God, he's got everything.
That Kellogg may be a son of a bitch, but he's got good taste.
Come on, Nate. Let's keep hunting for clues.
So Nate and Valentine keep looking around the safe room.
But alas, still no baby Sean. Ah, says Nate, as he returns to his weapons inventory. Wait, says Valentine. What about these cigars here sitting in this ashtray?
Interesting brand.
Cigars. San Francisco Sunlights.
Won't lead us anywhere on its own, though.
If Kellogg likes to smoke these a lot, then perhaps he's been traveling the wastelands smoking these. And if we had something that, like, detected scents, we might be able to follow a sort of trail of these cigar stubs all across the wasteland, Nate. Oh, yeah, but nobody can smell that good. Ah, says Nate, walking away. Wait, says Valentine.
Some dogs out there in the Commonwealth can track a man for miles.
I know a dog.
I wonder if Dogmeat could pick up the scent.
I also know who Dogmeat is, despite never meeting him and you having never mentioned him.
Why don't you go fetch him and let him have a whiff? See if he picks up the trail.
So Nate and Valentine walk outside, and Dogmeat's already there waiting, and he picks up the scent.
Got something, boy?
Yeah.
Dogmeat gets the scent and he heads off out into the wastelands. On the trail.
Alright, so Dogmeat leads us to another small cigar stub.
It's down by a small, dock? Jetty, a pier perhaps.
San Francisco Sunlights. Kellogg's preferred brand, all right.
Dogmeat latches onto the next part of the trail.
Hier entlang.
And then he finds an old campsite that it looks like Kellogg's used recently.
It was booby-trapped.
A decoy, huh? Clever.
That's some good disarming there, Nate.
No, let's just rewind.
I don't think we
You'll
can.
notice it said clue because it doesn't let you activate the mine.
You know what I would have done? I probably would have done like a wicked sick backflip or something, and then I wouldn't have been caught in the blast, but...
I wish I did that. So we follow Dogmeat and his amazing heckin' puppo nose all the way to Fort Hagen. This is some old military fort where it seems that Kellogg's scent goes dry. Maybe he's holed up here.
Is this the place? Is he in here, boy?
Ja, das ist ein Heidi-Hole.
Mr. Z, that's doggo for yes.
Well then, let us go into there. We head into Fort Hagen.
And it looks like we're in some sort of admin office level. And worse, looks like it's full of synths. The old skeleton scary ones, so...
Can't be. Synths is a conspiracy.
This definitely has Institute written all over it. Does that mean Kellogg's running with the Institute these days? If he's even here.
Can't be. The Institute is a conspiracy. That can't be a synth. It can't be. They're not real.
Oh, I mean, we never said synths weren't real.
We fight our way through the building, and we reach an elevator. We go down into the belly of the building. And there we hear the echoed din of an all too familiar voice.
Yeah, if it isn't my old friend, the frozen TV dinner.
That's Kellogg's voice.
Last time we met, you were cozying up to the peas and apple cobbler.
What?
He's saying that we're a frozen TV dinner, which...
Oh, that's rude.
...is predicated on the fact of him knowing what a frozen TV dinner is.
He killed our wife. He stole our son. Now he's making fun of us for having been frozen. We can't let this stand. So we're trying to get at Kellogg, but every time we try, he's there thwarting us with, like, tricks and traps and stuff. Instead of disarming them, Mr. B just runs right through it and uses a stim pack.
After waking up 200 years in the future, nothing can shock me anymore, Kellogg.
All the while, Kellogg is on the loudspeaker intercom, taunting Nate.
Sorry your house has been a wreck for 200 years, but I don't need a roommate. Leave.
He says some more stuff to make us feel unwelcome.
Gave you 50-50 odds of making it to Diamond City. After that, figured the Commonwealth would chew you up like jerky.
I figured the Commonwealth would chew you up and spit you out and chew you up again and then spit you all around the room and then you'd be spit you into the peach cobbler and here's the thing, Nate, in the Commonwealth we all swallow.
Now Kellogg can see that we're not turning around. We're still marching forward. So Kellogg starts monologuing even harder.
You got guts and determination. It's admirable.
He's just like sitting there at a mic, presumably saying all this stuff.
Yeah.
And here's another thing, actually. And now a word from our sponsors. And now, Yellow by Coldplay.
We're getting so close to Kellogg now, and he's starting to shift from cocky to kind of negotiating.
It's not too late. Stop. Turn around and leave. You have that option.
That doesn't work either.
Listen, Nate. Really? Listen, though. You've got no idea what you're working with.
You are in over your head in ways you can't possibly comprehend.
But we kept marching forward right till the final door. Kellogg is mere meters away.
Okay.
So Kellogg gives us one last plea.
I'm just up ahead. My synths are standing down. Let's talk.
The security door opens up and we walk through. We are heading for the denouement, the climax of the story, as we are about to get our vengeance. That was really fun running all across the wasteland, right?
Takes 20 minutes.
I liked the bit where we got to the dock.
Was it a dock? I'm pretty sure it was a pier, wasn't it?
A pontoon, if you will.
Something that's always bothered me about Kellogg's house is we're running the tech where we've got secret doors and secret compartments to make the house have a secret little safe room.
Yeah.
No one at any point picked up a broom.
Yep, television on the floor for no reason, scattered papers.
I have to imagine it's because they turned all the brooms into guns.
Oh yeah, the cinder blocks? Just leave them on the mezzanine, please. Like, the button's not secret either. It's like just big red button.
I like the idea that it's like slightly buzzing as well. It's got that electrical. It's got that like zzz going.
Yeah, it drives me mad. Like, none of it makes any sense. And it's like, the world building. Really? Where's he getting like specialized cigars? Is he
San Francisco?
Is he going to San Francisco?
Can we just chuck that up on the map, see how far San Fran is to Boston?
They're so far away. Oh my god, it's so far away.
What if the speakers just weren't working? Nate's walking in, and Kellogg's there. He's like, I'm gonna hit him with. Just comes out like. Nate's like, well, this place must be haunted. This place is scary. But anyway, Mr. Z, Kellogg, he has our son.
And so we're about to head in, and hopefully avenge our wife and get back our son. I know he's probably like in that room. We're just gonna scoop him up and go, come on, and feed him straight from our bosom. All right, well, let's see how it unfolds.
So here we are. We enter a big open room. It's dark. It's poorly lit. But suddenly, a bunch of lights all pop on in order. And behind a computer console walks Kellogg. The man who ruined our life.
We walk right up to Kellogg, briskly, so that he knows we're serious.
So, here we are. Funny, huh?
You murdering, kidnapping psychopath.
Where's Sean?
Tell me,
Give me my son. Give me Sean! Now!
Right to it then, huh? Okay. Fine.
Nick Valentine is like, ooh, he's at the edge of his seat. Piper's there, and dog meat, and we're all paying close attention.
And then we hard cut to Codsworth dead in a dumpster somewhere.
Pal, I'm just a puppet like you. My stage is a little bigger, that's all.
Now, Kellogg decides not to tell us very much at all. He's going to be very cryptic about the whole thing. He's going to be the riddle master.
Where is my son? Where is Sean?
Sean's a good kid. Bit older than you expected, am I right?
Yes, I suspect he is 10 now, because people said they saw you walking around with a 10-year-old boy.
But he's doing great. Only, he's not here. If you're hoping for a happy reunion, ain't gonna happen, pal.
Oh.
Your boy's not here.
Oh.
So where is he?
Sean's in a good place. Where he's safe and comfortable and loved.
Where he's safe and comfortable. Oh god, he's dead. He's in heaven, isn't he?
What's the cliche? So close, but yet so far away?
He talks so cryptically for no reason.
He is everywhere, but he is nowhere. Fiddle-dee-dee.
God damn it, you mercenary motherfucker. Where is my son?
Sean's safe. At home. In the Institute.
The Institute? Piper's like, I knew it! Nate is starting to get very angry.
So where is it? Huh?
Huh?
This Institute. How do I get there?
But Kellogg goes back into cryptic mode.
Haven't you been paying attention? You don't find the Institute. The Institute finds you.
There's a little institute in all of us.
He's so needlessly cryptic.
You open the closet. It's just a closet. You can never find the monster that hides inside.
You cannot find the Institute and save your boy, Nate. I know how to get in there, Nate, and it's all up here.
Says Kellogg, pointing to his brain.
But I think we've been talking long enough.
Kellogg then says,
We both know how this has to end.
It's time to duel with guns. Get your stem packs ready. We're gonna do some combat. To the death.
In 100 years, when I finally die, I only hope I go to hell, so I can kill you all over again, you piece of shit.
Bang.
That's a very extreme thing to say, and I forgive Nate for saying it because it's in a moment of extreme anger. I always believe in love, not hate. This is clearly hate Nate coming through. That was actually why they called him Nate, because it's a portmanteau of hate and Nathan.
I have to admit, I find myself actually kind of liking you.
You, Kellogg.
So we blast at Kellogg. A stray bullet hits him right in the face, and his whole head explodes like a big fountain of grape jelly. There's pieces going everywhere, and it's a bit of a stop and stare moment. Everyone's shocked. It's really killed the mood. Just like a chocolate milkshake. Only crunchy.
Bastard won't be hurting anyone else.
We then walk over to Kellogg's limp, headless body, and we begin rifling through his pockets, grabbing all his stuff, searching for clues.
Huh? He's chock full of cybernetic parts and upgrades. Huh, says Nate, as he rips them all out to potentially sell later.
All this tech. You were barely human.
Valentine wisely says,
We should take a look around, get all the intel this place can hide.
Next to his corpse is Kellogg's computer terminal. So we crack it open to look for any juicy info, and we find a message. The boy, Sean, successfully delivered back to the Institute. Payment received. And then we play some games on this souped-out PC.
So we turn to Valentine and we ask him,
Nick.
So, Kellogg wasn't giving us any bull. Your son really is on the inside.
Surely you can help us, Mr. Valentine, please. My son's trapped in the Institute.
Even I don't know where the Institute is. And they built me. Only person I know willing to snoop up the Institute's tail feathers is Piper.
Alright, so Mr. Valentine is telling us to go back and talk to Piper, because she is the expert on all things Institute-y.
Diamond City it is.
Hey, chin up. I know the night just got darker, but it won't last forever.
My wife is dead.
Let's get moving. Our next mission is clear. Find someone who can help us get into the Institute. Bum bum bam. Nate heads for the exit of Fort Hagen. He's taking the elevator back to the surface.
Which is a loading screen.
We walk out to a balcony that overlooks the Commonwealth. Wow, look at it all. The Commonwealth. My son is out there. Somewhere. But then Nate looks up and to the right, and oh my god, what the hell is that? Is that an airship?
Oh, you best believe it is.
Oh no, and there's a power line right there.
They don't know. Someone's gotta tell them.
A giant flying airship comes into view, and it's speaking over a megaphone.
People of the Commonwealth.
That's me.
Be not afraid.
The airship declares itself as peaceful, so long as you don't interfere in our business, and that they are a faction known as
the Brotherhood of Steel.
which was only patched into the game after the television show came out. Now, the awe-inspiring mood is somewhat spoiled by Valentine when he begins monologuing poetry like an asshole.
Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing.
He's quoting The Raven.
Wow, that's frightfully Kafkaesque.
What an asshole. I actually hate Valentine for that.
Yeah.
This isn't scary or anything. It doesn't make any sense.
Valentine just turns and looks at Nate and goes, Nate. I'm not even doing a Valentine voice anymore. He goes, Nate, whether 'tis nobler in the mind to endure the sling's arrow.
Nate, a lonely, wandering spider high up on promontory it stood.
Down came the rain. And watched the spider. Fucking stupid.
When will we find my son? Well, it may not be today, may not be tomorrow, but something the rest of your life.
Takes a drag of a cigarette.
Rosebud.
It's just fucking references.
What could this all mean? What is this brave new world that we have found ourselves in? The fallout from this is gonna be phenomenal. Wow. We just met Kellogg.
That's crazy.
You know, I didn't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. So, we kill Kellogg. And one thing that I did find surprising is that not just that we went rummaging through his pockets, but we decided to go rummaging through the inside of his exploded skull.
Sort of blasting past, I think, the biggest revelation.
Yeah.
Is that little Sean, Kellogg said he's a bit older.
What?
A little older than you may have expected.
So it's kind of crazy that Kellogg would kill Nora, take Sean, freeze us, and then we'd just be let out 10 years later? It's like...
Yeah, what the heck?
I don't know.
It's very cryptic. We thought that's all the revelation we're going to get here. But once we got outside, what the heck is that? We said as we're pointing directly at a big Hindenburg.
Now, I don't know much about the Brotherhood of Steel, right? The fact that their arrival has warranted Valentine to start quoting literature
Deep into that darkness peering.
Makes me think that maybe these guys are pretty serious business.
I mean, they're a mystery to us for now, but I've seen the television show, and I don't like them. I find them to be kind of boring.
They're interesting in Fallout 1, but then it's like they come here and it's like, what are they doing? What do they add? You could just have other dudes in power armor, you know?
Well, that's one hell of a setup for the next episode, Mr. B. I can't believe we're going to get 3 views for it because nobody likes it when you split up the video. Well, Mr. B, I think we can all agree. When you gotta be in the wasteland and you gotta drink from a puddle, there's only one way to mask the bad flavor.
How?
I'm so glad you asked. So don't forget to get the cup. How are you supposed to know what your own mood is?
Why is he a wizard on the cup?
I don't know. I had the idea for the mood ball, and then everything else we just kind of reverse engineered it. I don't know. Canonically, he's not supposed to be a wizard.
He lost his license.
He revealed too many of the magician's secrets. So go to gamersups.gg/historian.